So here's a few ideas when I'm thinking wrasse fishing in the winter. So the first main thing I'm thinking about is what's that weather doing? We get a lot of storms down here. Southwesterly blows. There's one going out now, and it buggers the fishing out, especially on the Devon coast. The water clarity goes. There's big swells, and those wrasse, they generally get pushed out. They don't like being right in the swell, getting thrown up against the rocks. So you often find after a bit of a storm, they will go 500-600 yards offshore. Just find that deeper water where it's not so churned up. The water clarity is probably a little bit better. So that's a good place to start on those. Try and find those slightly deeper rock marks. I'm generally not fishing anything under 8 foot of water if I can help it. They will still come up shallow when the weather clears, but generally I found that they are a bit deeper than they are in the summer, just to kind of get away from that real churned up water. So that's the first thing. We're picking our weather windows. Give it 2 days just for that, any residual swell left to kind of dissipate, the water clarity to, start clearing up. I've never done well in bad water clarity for wrasse. Next bit of advice is the water temp is going down. They're going to be fairly lethargic, I've found. So whereas usually in the summer it's real twitch like that, I can quite happily in the winter fish something along the bottom with a 10-second pause just to get them fish interested, because they are not going to be chasing a lure down like they do in the summer. I've never found in the winter you want to be fishing particularly quick, and I've no problem literally waiting 10 seconds before I even think about moving the lure. That's the nice thing about the likes of your floating Z-Mans. You pause that lure, it will float up like that, and you'll just get the micro movement in the claws, and that is just really what the wrasse go nuts for. The next thing is, they're going to be fattening up, starting to think about spawning. Wrasse are incredibly territorial compared to any other species in the UK. I don't think we've got anything quite so territorial as Ballan wrasse are. So this is a bit of a theory that I've been working on for a couple of years. June bug, this colour here, is my favourite colour for wrasse. And there's a theory that male wrasse, they often get those striking blue colours on their fins, streaks along their cheekbones. And I think when wrasse see June bug, they automatically think there's male competition. And what do? They attack it, try and get it out of their way. They don't like other males in their area, obviously with mating season coming up. So I've found June bug will be one of my favourite colours, especially this time of year when they're getting ready to mate. It might be complete bollocks, but that's something that I've found, it makes sense in my head, and I think I've noticed results doing it as well. All right, next bit of advice. Little glass rattle can be a good way just to get those more extra couple bites. As I say, winter fishing is not easy. You're not going to get many takes, but the ones you do get are going to be decent sized fish. And sometimes you just got to really piss them off. And a little rattle, it sounds like a crab. It sounds like something that naturally be crittering along on the seabed. Obviously, these Elastex, they're a nightmare trying to get a rattle in that. But glass bead, Texas weight, that's going to be bumping on the bottom. That's going to be rattling. As you say, glass rattles in there. That's going to be making noise. It's just something extra. So we've covered weather, mating season, lures, tactics. The final word here, try to keep this as short as possible. If you're not catching wrasse in a gully that you think holds wrasse, don't fish it for an hour, 2-3 hours. Move. There's going to be a lot of gullies around where you're fishing. There's rarely just one gully. Just fish to your left, to your right. Fish a different gully. Wrasse are generally quite predatory, even in the winter. Even if it's not nailing it, you're going to get little rattles. You're going to know that there's fish around. And if you're not getting those bites that you're expecting to get, then just move. I've found, fish it again later in the tide. Obviously, fishing a flood in there, you're gonna get different results. But at that time, don't get too hung up on fishing the same spot for hours on end, because if they aren't there, then they aren't there. And especially in the winter, they're not behaving quite right. There will be times when there is no wrasse in the gullies when you expect there to be. So I'm giving it 5-10 minutes max on a spot, and if I've got no interest whatsoever, I'm buggering off. Next gully, same again, repeat, then work my way back down, just to, you know, really find the fish. Because when you do find them, you can feel all right in winter, but there's no point getting too hung up over the same spot and fishing it for hours on end. So I hope that helps a little bit, guys. Again, comment below if you want any more videos, if you want any more about this topic in particular. More than happy to make a second video. Just trying to keep it as short as possible. So yeah, nice one, guys. Drop a follow, whatever social media this is on. I'm going to post it everywhere. Just trying to help a few people out. And yeah, hopefully see you in the next one. Take care, guys. Good luck.